Okay, Paul, let's get a little introspective.
Okay.
Tell me, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word is monolithic. I read it in a Dean R. Koontz book, and he was describing this really scary building called the Black House, and I liked it. I obviously had to look it up, find out what it meant. Because, you know, that's not really my strong point, but yeah, quite impressed with that.
What is your least favorite word?
Is there anything I can't pronounce? A lot of Spanish words, actually. I've forgotten so much of my Spanish. Rubbish.
Oh, I've got a great teacher I could recommend to you.
Actually, anything with 2 R's in it, because I can't actually do the rolling of the R's. And,
if you can do that, you can get a chick like that, man, I'm telling you.
I'm going to practice that.
It tells a girl a lot if you can roll your tongue.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Next question, which is quickly associated.
Moving swiftly on.
What turns you on?
What turns me on? I have no idea what turns me on. Confidence and a really good bum.
And what turns you off?
The opposite to that. Flat bum, no confidence.
Good answer. All right, here's a good question for a musician. What sound or noise do you love?
This is going to sound really rubbish and cheesy, but I actually love when you hold a cat and it purrs.
Oh, Emily, did you hear that? We have a little cat named Emily Dickinson.
I know, I've got plans for her later.
What sound or noise do you hate?
You know, I really hate anything to do with alarm clocks. Because they are really like on their head, and it means you've got to get out of bed, and I'm not really good at that.
I know, there's a frequency. They hit that frequency
that right frequency where you just want to smash it.
Yeah. Don't smash the alarm clock I'm giving you, because you know Paul's staying. You're staying at MMI tonight.
Staying here. Yep.
Indeed. So don't smash my alarm clock.
Oh, I won't.
All right. Now you're given some liberty to be a little rude. They don't mind over at OCI,
really?
do you guys? What is your favorite curse word?
My favourite curse word, which I use a lot, is probably twat.
Yes.
Which is like, you know, it's used a lot in Yorkshire, and this morning, I was running a little bit late because I spent some time with my friends from Denmark last night. Which was quite
3 hours late, to be exact.
3 hours late. My intention was to leave at 7, and I went into my mum's house, and I was flapping around and being a bit of a git. And my mum goes, "All right, twatty." So that actually made my morning, made me giggle.
That's a really, really rude word in America.
Yeah,
Twat.
yeah.
But they use it all kind of off the cuff more in England.
Yeah, but we use it. They use it literally.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just use it as a bit of a swear word.
But then again, you have a word like a fanny that is very rude in England.
Yeah.
But in America, it's a very quaint word for an old lady's bum. You know? It's a quaint word.
I couldn't believe it when I was watching the program, The Nanny, and in the song she gets thrown out on her fanny. And I was watching it thinking, is that possible? Can you actually get thrown out on your fanny? Has she got double jointed hips? No.
We no longer speak the same language between...
No, yeah. But
or as my dad always said, he said, "Why are you moving to England, Laura? There's a reason why God put the Atlantic Ocean there." All right, next question. What profession, other than music, would you most like to attempt?
Other than music? This is a really good question. Probably... only because I was just at the safari park, I'd like to look after elephants. Because that guy has one of the best jobs in the world. Love it.
But elephants have big poo, you know?
They're just big. Just to have, you know, big things walking around with you. Brilliant. Well, a lot of things are big to me because I'm very small. But that was quite impressive. I'd like to actually work with animals.
Did you know that elephants have not always been that big? They've actually been like the size of a big dog. We just saw that on a show the other day. It was a dwarf elephant. There were such things as dwarf elephants. They'd be easier to take care of. Big elephants, that's ambitious.
You know what? I don't think that would be my favourite job. I just can't think of anything. I just try to...
Not the typical things like race car driver, pilot, astronaut.
No, I've never really been that kind of a man-to-man kind of job. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. It's Paul Oliver.
Actually...
Yeah.
I'd really like to have been a dancer. Because I started off dancing when I was very young. I went to Pineapple Studios and stuff like that, and I loved dancing. I would like to be a dancer. I'd be a professional dancer.
All right, come to MMI anytime. We'll hook you up.
Okay.
We'll hook you up. What profession, then, would you not like to participate? The worst job in the world, according to you. What would that be?
Not because I don't think it's noble, but I think nurses get a really raw deal, and I'd hate to be one. And for someone to actually do that...
The bedpan thing? Yeah.
Yeah, the bedpan, bed bath thing, you know. When you're receiving it, I'm sure it's really great, but having to give it out, no.
You got to be strong as an ox to be a nurse.
You got to be strong. You got to be able to work 15-day shifts and stuff like that.
Do you know any nurses?
No, I wish I did though. I know people with nurse uniforms. That's why I keep their number.
All right, last question. Picking your psyche. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you approach the pearly gates?
Would you like ice with that?
That has got to be the best answer we've ever had on Fame Games. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exclusive interview to Fame Games and an immense personal pleasure to meet you, Paul.
Thank you very much.
I have to clarify Paul Marazzi because I often refer to Paul Sidkowski on the show, who is our resident songwriter. I hope that one day, if you are coming to Spain again soon, that you'll stop in and visit us, perhaps to write a couple songs with us.
I'd love to just come and hang and do whatever, meet some of your artists. They all sound fantastic, and maybe get some vibes together. That'd be brilliant too. And if you never know, we're going to be a record label this year. You never know anything's possible. That's what's so good about music. You want to make some real money? Sign with MMI. On the dotted line, little man. And we'll close the interview with that. Thank you so much, Paul. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.